Hello everyone, welcome to the Music B&B. I am 315. A few months ago, I created an album. Well, I say I created an album. I asked AI programs to help me create an album. I posted it on Reddit and I got some great feedback from it. Some of you were asking, how did you make it? And I had to explain it. I typed how I did it. But some of them were asking for a video. They wanted an in-depth look at how I managed to make an AI-generated program. So I'll start talking you through it. The first step was setting myself some ground rules, some parameters. So the first rule was the lyrics had to be created by an AI program. The second one was the melodies within the songs, at least a few of the melodies in the songs, had to be created by an AI program as well. And the third one was to have some human creative control over it. If I didn't have any human creative control, I don't think I would have ended up with any songs at all, or at least a mess. And I had a fourth rule as well, I think, which was that I was allowed to do any of the drum rhythms. Although it is possible to create your own AI rhythms, that was just something I decided. It was creative choice by me. So yeah, I'll take you through the first few stages and the setup process that I did before I started recording the songs. So the first thing I did was to look for an AI lyric generator, and I found a really good one, which is called lyrics.mafigati.com. When you go into the program, you have to enter some keywords. Now, when it usually comes, it looks like this, and you had to think of some words to put in for keywords. Now, if I did that, there would be some human element to, giving the program some ideas. You could write love and have lyrics on the theme of love. But I thought, you know what, instead, I'm going to let fate decide. Okay, so I used a random word generator, setting it to 5 random words. You could choose any, but I chose 5. And once it was generated, it would come up with 5 different words. So what I did was I copied those words, pasted them into the word generator, and pressed generate song. And once the lyrics had been generated, I had a read of them. Sometimes it would generate some words with more foul language or words that I couldn't use, so I just had to check. So this one was suffer, green, radio, direct, and inch, and it's come up with, you know that my love is magical. I can see it shining. You suddenly, I'm a completely different girl. You suddenly, I'm a completely different man. So you could see sometimes it would create things that weren't grammatically correct, but I had to stick with them. I tried not to have as many goes as possible. This one looks quite nice. I think it's supposed to be some sort of love song, but you can see sometimes it's not perfect, and I think that really added to it. And the second thing I used was an AI melody generator. This one is called Dope Loop. There are other ones. DopeLoop.ai. What you can do is you can set the parameters, note length, which note you want to work in, and even like the scale. So I could choose like a major scale if I wanted to, and then I could press generate, and then you can play it. I gave myself a bit more freedom with this and generated a few times till I found something I liked, just because otherwise some of them were just terrible. So yeah, so let's have a look at my first song. So for the first song, I put in these keywords: philosophy, inhibition, patrol, heal, and carbon. And then these are the lyrics that I got. You're not the first, 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 you're not the first. I got my eyes on you, you never let go, and now I'm caught in this hot fever. I need to get away so I can get away. And then it says you're not the first again. So for my first ever try, I thought, you know what, this is very repetitive, but I did set some rules and parameters and I had to stick to them. And then I went on to Dope Loop to get this little melody. A very simple melody. And then over the top of that, I managed to generate a little sort of higher melody to go over the top. Nice relaxing melody, and then the vocals just repeated the words, you're not the first. You're not the first, 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 you're not the first. So a bit of an effect on the vocals. So for the next one, I generated 5 keywords again: problem, mill, language camp, inside. And then I got it wasn't really like lyrics, to be honest. It came out with, today was the situation that the people of the world can't see. Sounded like a news report. Mill Valley Road and the God of Peace connect. Today, Waskarum fact fear is the key to peace or vision. I searched those on Google, Waskarum, and I can't find anything about it. So it's even generated its own weird words. And it was at this point in the song, the very ending gave me the idea to create a sort of narrative for this album. It said E equals MC squared, the Mother Earth is mine. And I thought, you know what, I could create an album where the robots take over. So I thought that like this album could be like a program, and then it would be taken over. So then I went back to the start and I added in some text to speech. I found texttospeech.org, and what I did was I decided I could do with some sort of robot that is generating all of these sounds. I thought I might like to tell a story of this program that would help you create an album. And then like about halfway through, it starts to crash, it goes wrong, it starts to use bad language, it starts to break down. Start of the first song, you can hear this woman talking.
Please insert 5 keywords to generate artificially created lyrics.
This is one of my least favorite tracks, to be honest, but Dope Loop again gave me this melody.
Well done. Your new keywords are problem.
I say that's not really the melody. The melody goes did 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 did. But I decided to make it a bit sort of industrial.
Well done. Your new keywords.
So that's what I got with that. At the end he says E equals MC squared, the Mother Earth is mine. On the AI generate lyrics things, you could turn up the creativity parameters between 0.1 and 1. The higher the value, the more creative, crazy the text. So I decided to get the text to speech woman to tell you to turn up the creativity. So I put it up to 0.9. That generated these words. To the last face on my run, it's the next day of his life, ready to attack, get ready for the next man. Same old faces lurking behind every door, many different people that have been there before. So it came up with some interesting words. It didn't really make sense. It wasn't really cohesive as a piece. And it repeated the word you a lot. Don't let them tell you you can just go. Don't let them tell you you won't be there. And then at the end it even says, don't let them tell you can just go 'cause you. So there was lots of yous in there. So I called the song You Can Just Go.
Why don't you try turning it up?
So again, Dope Loop going da, 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 da. That was the main basis for the song. To the last face of my run. I was getting a sort of British grime vibe, so maybe a bit like the Streets at times. I know that this isn't what they've been there all along, until it was the last girl of mine. So yeah, again, not really one of my favourite ones, but it was quite funny with the repetition of the words at the end. See if I can find it. The world will know which way it's turning round, so don't let them tell you can just go, 'cause you. Yeah, it even ends at the end with 'cause you.
It would appear we lost some meaning with the last song.
So then I thought the woman telling the narrative for the next one, which I called disappear.org, she could say that the creativity parameters were too high, so turn them back down again, and let's see what we can make. And then I generated keywords, page, lounge, sign, cucumber production, and it came up with some quite good lyrics. I'm so angry at the top, I can hardly sit still. Every hour, every day, I'm so frightened, and I wish that I could just disappear into the next life, but I don't. And I wish that I could just... So quite haunting lyrics, really. And even on Dope Loop, it creates some interesting stuff and a nice hook as well. I thought it could be more electronic. So we got da-na-na-na-na-na as the melody. I'm so angry at the top, I can hardly sit still. So yeah, it was quite nice, and then it kicks in, which this is one of my favourite parts of the album. That I could just disappear. It just sounded so nice, yeah. I went a bit further along with this, and it's probably one of the longer tracks because I was interested in it. So what I do is if I'm interested in a track, I keep it going. When I get bored, my tracks tend to be shorter. It's not the best way to work. Sometimes I should stick to things. But anyway, it was quite short. And then we move on to the next track. The AI program, whoever it was, saying, well done. It was sounding really good. And then we did some new inputs, which was B, caret, sticky, reserve, index. And then this time it came up with some quite explicit lyrics. I'm so bored of being on the go. I'm so bored of all this wasted time. And then, it just keeps repeating some explicit words. So I thought it would be good for the program to go into saying, like, we're sorry that this is happening, everything like that. I'm so bored of being on the go. I'm so bored of all this. And then I thought the program could crash at this point, so I decided to make some crazy crashing noises.
It would appear that the system has been breached from an unknown source. We are taking the steps.
So quite an uncomfortable bit, and then a sort of a deep, evil voice takes over.
And keywords are unrest, complication, dominant.
Then I thought it could go into some lyrics about the world being in pain. So actually I did a few generations till I got some lyrics that were about that. So the keywords were unrest, complication, dominant, burn and rage. It came out with the whole world is wrong, take all the evil, those kind of words. The world is one, this world is pain, the world is one, the world is two. So I decided to do maybe, I'd call it like, what's it called, emo rap, kind of maybe screaming rap, like Ghost Domain. Not really anything I'm interested in, but I think it suited the track. The next track after that is called Containment, and this is where I did a collab with someone who I did some editing and some producing for his tracks. It's called Brendan Norwood. Not really as much AI stuff going on in here, but I thought it'd be nice to have a sort of system fighting back, more realistic stuff coming back to try and fix the program. So he provided his saxophone on here. He did quite a few parts, so let's see if we can find them on here. So just a really nice saxophone track to go on it. And then I made one about the system rebooting, sounding like lots of electronic parts.
Now installing antivirus software.
I thought they could install some software to reboot the system.
Our antiviral software has detected a potentially harmful virus in our system.
And I thought it could end with the person who was using the system say they didn't want to do it again. And the music that's playing harks back to the very start, which has similar music, almost like the company's music.
Brilliant. Yeah. Systems are now back. Thank you for using Artificial Music Systems Pro. We hope you use our products again in future.
So that was nice and easy. That was just it was kind of a callback to the start. I had an introduction which had a similar thing on You're Not the First, kind of introducing the program, making it seem like it's a one whole system. I liked it, the idea of it being a concept, and I hope I got that across in the album. The last things I did was I used AI album art generator. I think I was using Wombo Dream it's called. It's nice and easy. You basically type in the album art you want. So I typed in things like You're Not the First, for example, and then chose a style and pressed create, and it created some album art for me. The one I settled on for the front cover was this one, which is from disappear.org, and I thought it was quite nice. You've got a sort of shape that seems to be going into the background, fading away from its original form. And then I thought it'd be nice to make something more robotic. I got binary code here, which spells out music for robots. Yeah. So that's how I made it. Let me know if you think I did a good enough job, or if you think I didn't make it sort of robotic enough. I put too many creative features into it. Feel free to tell me that. If you think you want to try doing it and maybe set yourself more restrictions, go ahead, see what happens. I wanted to have a bit of creative freedom as well. It's music for robots, but it's created by a human with the guiding of a human. maybe in 50 years' time, I could just press a button, it will generate me a whole album, and I'll put it out. But it would feel like I hadn't done anything then. Yeah. All right. So I hope that was informative. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, goodbye, I guess.